Hey guys, it's Casey again. Today I'm going to explain where I felt like my life was coming to my breaking point. Well, back in 2011, it was June or July, before I even went to Focus and before I even had the suicidal thoughts, I was living in Guyton, Georgia with my mother. A lot of you have heard stories about her from me or from my brother, one or the other. Um, One day I came home and I wanted to speak to her because I've never really had that mother and daughter relationship. I tried to go into her room and I noticed there was a towel under the door, and she wouldn't answer the door, so I started freaking out. She finally answered the door and I noticed there was a foul smell coming from the room. Well, I told her, never mind, I was just checking on her. So I ended up going back to my room, and about 30 minutes later, she was in the restroom, and I know this is going to be kind of gross, but she was taking a bath, and I decided to go in there and tell her something. Well, I had walked in the door, and I had seen my mother with a crack pipe, and I think it's called a Brillo pad. I'm not really sure how that whole thing goes because, like I said in my first video, that I've never done any drugs in my life. Well, I really broke down. I didn't know what to do, and it was like, wow, my mom left me when I was 4 over drugs, and here she is doing it while I'm with her. Uh, So I ended up calling my father and asked him if he could come get me. And it was impossible because he was working on his vehicle or whatever. So I got a hold of my friend Mark Crater. By the way, congratulations to you. Um, he ended up coming to get me. My dad gave him some money so he can come all the way up to Guyton to pick me up and take me back here to Camden County. Through that trip back down here, I was perfectly fine. Mark kept my mind off of it a lot, and when I got back down here to my father's, I was okay, and then I just had a mental breakdown, and that's where it all started happening, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, wow, here I am. I was 18 years old. I already didn't have my mother in my life. I didn't know what drugs were. I didn't know what they associated with, how they were made, but she affected me that much. And honestly, I don't put the blame on her for making me like this at all. It's life. I tried to get her to be in my life, and it never happened. And for those of you who try to get one person in your family, your mother, your father, your grandmother, whoever, if they just do not want to associate with you in your life, and you have constantly tried and gave them chance after chance, just because they do not still want to associate with you or disown you or don't want to be there for you, don't let it be a burden on you. It's not your fault, not at all. I learned that the hard way. You tried, you wanted that person in your life, and that's all you can do. You cannot make a person change. The only time you can really help a person change is if they're willing to help themselves. So that's kind of where I had my life diminished at. Another thing, when I got married back in April 2012, I saw my mother again. And keep this in mind, my mother never keeps in contact with me unless she wants something, or she just wants to say, when are you going to come up here and visit? Well, sorry mother, but I'm done trying. I am not going to do that anymore. But before my wedding, she had took so many medications, and through my ceremony, she decided that she wanted to sway back and forth and try to pass out during my wedding. Well, After the ceremony and then the reception came, she went straight to the room and she passed out. So those of you who has a mother or a father or anything like that, it is not your fault. Don't think so. You're only a kid. You didn't know the right from the wrong. Most of you are an adult now, or to the adults who are going through the same situation, just let it go. You can't just hold on to something that doesn't want to be there. My father had raised me regardless of the wrongs that he done and the rights that he has done. But he has been there for me, which he is actually about to be another daddy. And I thank him for actually being there for me when my mother wouldn't have been. Another point in my life where I felt like my life was coming down, I guess, is whenever I lost my home after me and Rick separated. I lost everything, and then I ended up selling my car, so it didn't happen. And it's my friend Fahim. Check that shit out. He got him a 2-liter.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm going to stop this from now so I can gather more ideas. But that's the point where I thought that my life was going to diminish.